Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bell, and it is a pleasure to bring Antigua, Guatemala to life for you. When I moved here in 1969, the property we're going to see next was in complete abandon and ruins. We're going to see how it has changed. Indeed, this is an excellent example of how we never know what's behind the walls. Let's go see. And here we are inside the Hotel Casa Santo Domingo with a little bit of history first. The Dominicans came with the conquerors in 1543 to this site. The first consideration for a city is always water, and we have freshwater springs up in the mountains. So indeed, while many of the kitchens were to cook, the one behind me is actually a bathroom in it where the water would come in by gravity, be heated inside the kitchen, and the bathtubs are right there. We'll see them in a minute. But indeed, it was the largest property in Antigua, was 8 city blocks. And the Dominicans also founded the university here and had about 80 monks who moved to Guatemala City with everyone else in 1773. And that actually triggered the move, because when they moved the sculptures and all of the religious art, many of the people from this neighborhood, which was the wealthiest, moved with them. So indeed, that triggered Antigua being completely abandoned in a matter of 2 years. So what you have is that we're on the edge of town, at least the historical center. I remember when this was completely under rubble in the early 1970s. And then this section was bought by Dr. and Mrs. Edwin Shook in 1970. They had done the work at Tikal with the University of Pennsylvania, and they had fun digging this whole section out, turning it into a lovely home with a big front yard and a big backyard. I remember how Mrs. Shook had put the orchids over there in the 1970s, and this was the entrance to the lovely home. So they sell that property to the hotel. You're going to hear the name Castañeda a lot. Of course, it's Jorge Castañeda who is the vision behind this. The family works here, but there are other Guatemalan owners, but indeed this is 100% Guatemalan. So what they do is in the mid-1990s, they built the first wing, and that is when we got the internet. And with the internet, Antigua begins to come to life. People can start doing reservations and so forth. So after that, what they do is start buying adjacent properties from people who had acquired them really over the centuries. These properties were useless, indeed today are incorporated into the property. Today the hotel's starting with 26 rooms. Today we're looking at 130 rooms and a spa, and the list goes on. Absolutely fabulous. But the legacy here is the art, and that's what we're going to focus on next. So the hotel evolved in the late 1990s, of course, with the restaurant, with an incredible chef today. He's a Guatemalan chef with truly award-winning, but then they expand. I'm standing in an area with, I'd say 4 feet of dirt, rubble that they cannot clean out because we have our national tree here. The ceiba tree is also known as a kapok tree, and it's the sacred tree of the Maya. They believe it connects the underworld to our world and the heavens above. My tree experts say that this tree is less than 70 years old because it still has the thorns on it. And at that time, it will absorb them. And that's so the fat cats in the rainforest don't climb it and break the branches. So as they expand, what you see here, it was agreed that this area would be the best for what they call the convention center. I call it the fiesta area. But indeed, with part of the old stables, it had an empty space behind it. So building a huge room there for your meetings and fiestas. You can also see how they added glass. And this continues with a new use for old monuments. So instead of using brick, stone, and mortar as we would on the other parts of the monuments, I like the glass. Digging Antigua out of the rubble has been so exciting for all of us. You can imagine that all of this had 4 feet of dirt, and they found this pila with the original tile made on site in Santo Domingo in the 1630s. Our suggestion was to put in a walkway so you can enjoy it, but not pick at it.